Previously in Dolmenwood.
The bishop might be a werewolf.
That he stole his armor from. He actually took the undergarments to wear them in.
Anything
No
happens
stirs.
that may cause a fuss with the community?
I understand, brother. Not to cause a fuss, or not to cause a stir.
There's a cadaver on the other side of this ditch.
I don't know what that word means, but
Dead body.
you're a tricksy one, you are. I don't know what your plan is, but I will work it out.
The Honourable Knight Sir Cromwaller was found dead. Looks very much like you are wearing his armour.
We've got really cool rocks. We're going to be like best friends.
I wish to help.
The Conqueror returns! Champion
It's like-
of the Hooven Ladies! Here he is, lad.
Sir, with your weird metal clothes, if this is a fuss, you can count on me to help you stop it being a fuss.
Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Dice Fluffers Do a Dolmenwood. My name is Luke and I am your lowly games master, GM, DM, BFF and BBW. I may need to Google what that last one was. Thanks so much for sticking around this far. We hope you had fun with the last episode, and here is essentially the second half of our first session. We have never recorded our session, so we are still figuring out how best to do that. We had it figured out by the third session, so our first group of episodes do have some sound issues, which we will try our best to rectify in post. So we thank you for your patience and bearing with us. It's worth mentioning, we have essentially just hit a record button on some friends playing a game together, and I'm perfectly fine if it stays that way. So just keep in mind, we don't have any money at all. All right, so with all that out of the way, let's get into it. Okay, trigger warnings for this one. We've got murder, some strong language, and some sexual references. All right, that's everything. So yeah, no adverts, no guff. Let's just jump right into it, guys. So here it is, episode 2. Here we go.
Jospray kind of doesn't wants to head towards the area, but of the body feels he needs to see it for it to be real.
Yeah,
But
Constabulary did say it was at the ditch way.
yeah. I'm suggesting that idea to the group. I think Oberon and our dear Friar here out of town is kind of going to see the ditchways. It's such a tourist hotspot. Would be a really good idea. And if we do come across a dead body, how many of those do you see in your lifetime? So that's something off the bucket list. Why don't we have a little stroll down there?
You see 2 guards with the red leather and the horned helmets with their halberds still waiting outside, and they turn and sort of look at you kind of quizzically as it becomes more and more clear to them you are approaching them.
Has this place got like a little village mentality, sort of like Hot Fuzz?
Well, I mean, what do you think?
Well, I kind of think it would be. So I'm just thinking so the constables we probably know them on first name terms, although they are.
Yeah, they're young lads. You probably know their dad and things like that. You might kind of know some and not necessarily know others. Do you know these 2 in particular?
I was going to say, yeah, just for the laughs of it.
All right, cool. So I think this would probably be an established role. When you introduce a potential fact and the judge agrees that it might be true, say how you heard about it. I want you to roll 2 dice, add your intelligence.
Got an A. With someone we've had a drink with in the past. Because all the young lads get together every so often. We just have a few beers, play some poker or whatnot.
You know this person to be known as Malcolm, and yeah, you distinctly remember he was sort of a very sort of like handsome young boy, very popular with the ladies, very sort of like charming, a very sort of did very well in his schooling, in his tutelage, always like the person you want on your team in kind of like a village sports fair. He's that sort of person.
So we're just approaching them. Right, Malcolm, how are we doing?
It's Mark.
Yep. How we doing? All right.
Instantly annoyed with you, and then you suddenly realise that's not Malcolm, that's Mark, his twin brother, who is almost the polar opposite of Malcolm. Complete layabout, an absolute arsehole. Most people hate him, most girls dislike him, and he hates being mistook for his brother, particularly if it's positive. So he's very annoyed. What do you want here, Sidley?
Yeah. Where's your brother?
Why do you need to know where my brother is? My brother is get fucked.
Hey, top man. Excellent. You had a good night then.
Oh, I don't think he meant anything by it. It's okay.
Oh, I did. You can go get fucked, silly crump. Calling me in Malcolm.
All right, Mark. Oh. He's never forgiven us for last Christmas.
Gillem looks at Oberon. He's just like, oh, I don't think I should be involved in this. Do you?
No, I don't think you probably should. Look, what do you want here? Bunch of piss takers. This is serious business.
Look, we've got two outsiders. We're showing him the ditch.
Well,
I'm not an outsider. I'm not an outsider. I've been here before.
you can't see the ditch.
That's ridiculous.
And he starts to like move as if to like stop you from even having like a little peek. Like, back off. I will stick you.
Oh, come on. It's just a body aim. We should know to them.
I know the chinks in your armour, Jospray. Where did you get that armour?
Mark, that's by the by.
You got it off that night, didn't you? What's his name?
It's someone, but no one. Someone and no one. Mark, we've had strict authority given by the chief constabulary.
Sid immediately just, have we?
Yes. To view the unfortunate murder scene of Sir Cromweller.
That's the bloke whose armour it was.
Oh, as you say it, there's just this kind of like, oh, you didn't.
Just don't worry. There's going to be loads of people crowding round soon. We don't want to let these ones. Then the whole town's going to be looking in, aren't they? Just give them 5 minutes, Malcolm. What did you call me, Marcus? And then they start like having a bit of a spat between themselves, leaving a window of opportunity for you just to quickly get on with things. So as you approach this sort of body, sort of like strewn across like the bottom part of this sort of ditch, you see a corpse dressed in sort of, just sort of regular clothes, not sort of naked, dressed, certainly not in full plate armor. And you can see that it kind of seemed like it rolled down. And as it is still quite cloudy and quite breezy, see this kind of scrap of cloth, what looks to be cloth, sort of flapping on this kind of bit of bracken that leads off towards one of the sort of like fields away from the road. As you look closer, you can see sort of like footsteps, possibly imprinted, leading towards this kind of bracken typey bush. Straight out of the gate, Oberon and Sidley, you do catch a whiff as this gust of wind kind of hits the body, and then your noses. You get a whiff of what smells like when you've tried to make toffee, Sidley, and it's been cooked for too long. It suddenly becomes that kind of acrid sort of smell. Guillaume, you cannot smell this at all. So when you hear this remark, it takes you aback a little bit.
Oh, burnt sugar.
You don't have to not swear in front of me.
No, I just say fucking hell.
As we're walking to the body, like before we really identified that it's him, but like approaching, I just turn to Sidley and I go, top 5 shit houses that have problems with Cromweller, right off your head, right now, like wanting a list of like 5 names.
Well, you've mentioned him before.
I'm not a shit house, am I?
No, but I know you got a bit pissed with him because you're really squat. That's all I got.
Exclusive bastards we're looking for.
The bishop. You don't like him.
Mm.
Point at Oberon. You wanted him to wear your armor?
Mm. We should check for bite marks, specifically doggy-sized.
Okay.
Yeah.
The friar's just shown up out of nowhere and he knows the body. He might have done it.
You do know the Burk Master, Clwyd Baldric,
Burk Master.
lives in the big lime white manor beside this kind of shallow lake. You know that he is probably only in name. He takes, as rumored, a lot of orders from Lord Malbleet, and he's kind of like just there, almost as a placeholder. You know, the whole town is controlled by Lord Malbleet, who does occasionally come down, and he will stay in the manor. Another sort of big name is in the church. It's a superstitious town, and obviously the head of the church in this area, Father Doby, is also a well-known sort of figurehead. On sunning mornings, most of the townsfolk attend the sermon, as do you guys, quite possibly. And Father Edwin Doby is always surreptitiously surveying visitors from his balcony. Whether any of these have any sort of cause against Crumvaller, like I say, you can make a roll, ask some questions. There are other parts of this town that you know of. There's the bladesmith, there's an apothecary, and then there are, of course, the giant stones that kind of loom over the town, known as the Nuncle stones. Not many people visit these stones, but you know that some do. Some people do. That's it. There's also an inn, the graveyard, and the market square.
What can we tell about the body? What sort of, does it look like it's been like stabbed to death? Does it look like it could be something magical? Is there anything we can tell just looking at it?
It looks like we're trying to do a find answers roll. Okay. Guillaume's called for this. So you can ask me a question, okay, and then roll. Are you trying to sense or discern, recall or study, or to simply ask around?
I'm going to go with discern.
All right, so you're going to roll You're going to roll your wisdom.
My wisdom is plus
2d6 and your
1.
wisdom.
2d6 and my wisdom. 12.
You are kidding me.
5 or 6 and a plus 1 for my wisdom.
Give us the manual, Luke. We'll take it from here.
You've got the luck today. All right, what's your question?
How this guy died. I'd like to work out how this guy has died. What caused his death?
So the rest of you watch as this friar sort of kneels beside this body and gives it sort of glance over, and then starts to sort of like pull and sort of prod at like various surreptitious kind of parts in a very sort of methodical and this guy seems to have done this before. A very kind of like Inspector Morse type kind of go over this body. First thing you realise is there's some very severe sort of rope marks around the neck, which sort of instantly kind of tells you what's going on here. However, something gives you sudden pause, and it's only when you realise, when you go down to the side of the body and realise that this person's nails are particularly long, and yet there's no marks around the wrist, and there's no scratch marks by the neck. It seems quite odd to you that someone would be strangled, not struggle. So you get that. Inside one of the jackets, you've got a letter. And this is a letter that is signed with a C, big C. And it's addressed to Baldric. And you can't really make out exactly what's being referenced here, but you get a sense that essentially this letter is from this person stating that they know their secret. And yet half of this page is sort of blank for some reason. And it looks unusually so, as if there should be possibly more to this. You're not sure exactly. But it seems that this sea person knows a secret.
Discounting all of this, Josh Bray says he can hear a werewolf.
Suddenly, the Pope springs forth from the thicket. That doesn't happen, sadly.
Yeah, so I basically feed this information back to the group.
Yeah, okay. You guys recognise Baldric as the mayor.
Just for its tying, you can't tie a rope, so it wasn't you.
Well, that's true.
It suddenly breaks a memory in you, Sidley. You realise that Crumwaller, when he was in Bogways the one night, in a kind of passing sort of conversation, mentioned he doesn't pay taxes that the citizens of Langshorn pay, as kind of enforced by the Burk Master.
GM doesn't know what these taxes things are that are being referred to at the moment because religion.
I kind of Josh Bray kind of can see that Sidley's kind of sniffing it out. What the acrid smell, kind of joking and kind of goes, "What have you got, boy?"
Burnt sugar.
Burnt sugar. And I can't smell it, but you've got a nose like a dog. We all know why that is. Oh, like I kind of pull a face
after
up.
the fuckers.
Yeah, and has our friar kind of explained about
Friar's
the
just
ropes?
looking at the body. Yeah, and as mentioned, ropes, but long nails. You're not sure why that's necessarily relevant unless Guillaume wants to, divulge further his thoughts.
Yeah. And literally, I'm doing like a NCIS episode while I'm running over him. Like, I've even got a pair of sunglasses which don't really make sense. I'm just kind of like, oh, he had.
It looks.
So I'm basically feeding it all back. Literally everything I'm thinking. It's not. There's no internal monologue. My internal monologue is an external monologue that I'm doing to these guys. I'm looking over the body.
Oh, fuck it. Okay. So after hearing that, I'm just sort of going to grab Jasper and go, "Do you understand what this means? He was strangled, no defensive marks. He was murdered."
And I correct him, go, "He was drugged and then murdered."
Looking for a drugger killer.
I kind of say Cromwaller would have fought off 5 men, if he thought he was going to be breathing his last breath. That's why I had to sneak. Well, not sneak these things, but it's why I didn't want to. I had to get out of there real quick before I pop this old camo on.
Oberon sidles up to Gwillem. He says, "Excuse me, Sidley's dad. What's wrong? What's happening with the man? Why is he not getting up?"
I'm not old enough to be his dad.
He keeps calling you father.
Yeah, he is. He's the father.
Oh dear. Right, so he's not moving because somebody's killed him.
Yep.
I turn to Oberon and go, "This would be a fuss."
He got into a right old fuss. The biggest fuss you can get into, really. And now he's ceased to be. He's joined the choir invisible.
There's an invisible choir.
Invisible choir.
What sort of music do they play?
Right, guys, you realise you're taking some time here, and the other two guards are starting to calm and starting to get angsty. Guys, if people start coming, you can't be here. You best wrap this up.
Sidley's dad. Just one question. If this is indeed a fuss, do people cast a lot of magic around here? Do they use runes quite a bit? It's really magic-y around here.
I wouldn't be able to tell you, to be honest. No, wait, what do you mean it's really magic-y around here?
It's got that. Can you not smell it? It smells magic-y.
You mean burnt sugar?
Well, that's just my cheese. It doesn't do well in the sun.
When he says that, Guillaume looks at the body, and now, second time today, I'm going to pray.
Why is that so funny?
I'm going to pray to the wisdom of St. Thorn.
God notice what you're doing and go, what's he doing? I think he's praying. Right, you can't pray. You need to hurry. Oh God, hurry up!
Which gives enchanted objects, areas, or creatures within the range of the caster are wreathed in a shimmering golden glow. Both permanent and temporary enchantments are revealed. So that's what I'm mostly focusing on. That second part.
Excellent.
permanent and temporary enchantment.
Suddenly, there is an aura, and it's blinding, but it's not coming from below where Crumvola is. You look up, and it's coming from the little strip of cotton. It's still blowing in the wind, whilst attached to this bracken, kind of like a bush.
So when I see that cotton light up, I point it to Oberon immediately, and I'm just like, are you getting magic from over there? Because I'm getting something that isn't of this world.
So yeah, this cloth is wreathed in a shimmering golden glow, and you can't pertain to its source. Its source feels alien and possibly fairy.
Oh,
Oh,
How does Guillaume feel about the idea of fairies?
so he's unsure of the fairy realm. He doesn't. It's that thing where he's never encountered it, and so
Yeah.
it's that fear of the other, the
Yeah.
fear of the other that he's got.
I mean, there are a few sort of factions and castes within Dolmenwood, and of course the church is one of them. One of a pretty firm tenant is a complete apathy, if not enemy towards fairy. You don't have to be that way inclined, but it is part of their politics for sure.
It's not to that severity. It's literally just
Cool.
that he hasn't come across it because he's not in the crux of the church in the way that many of those people would be. He's a traveller and he just sort of goes area to area.
Exactly,
as we discovered earlier, he hasn't come across these. So I just feed back to these guys. I like I think there's fairy involved here from what I can sense.
What do you mean? What you can sense? Can you smell it as well? Still pretty strong.
It's not a smell. It's different to that, to be honest. It's I don't know how to explain it. It's a almost like a sixth sense that I have. Sorry.
And you can see this golden light. I assume that's visible to everyone, so you can see he's done something to this piece of cloth.
oh, right. Okay.
Can I walk over to it, Luke? And as an enchanter, I can detect magic.
Mm-hmm.
So an enchanter can attempt to detect the subtle resonances that are woven into an enchanted object, place, or creature. If the attempt succeeds, the enchanter knows if the object, place, or creature being focused on is magical, i.e., is it enchanted, is it affected by a spell, or is it possessed of an innate magic of some kind.
Okay.
So I need to touch the object and concentrate without distraction.
Oh, fucking.
I'm going to wander over to the little shred of fabric.
What are you doing?
Liam's leaning over his shoulder. Can you sense anything?
Is this the thing?
This the thing. Have you got anything yet?
It's just a bit of cloth. What are you all doing?
8.
You, as you hold it,
Okay.
yeah, it's definitely fairy magic. And as you kind of spend a little bit more time with it, you notice two more things. You notice one, it stinks of a non-fairy thing as well. It stinks of a human thing, but it's so subtle because you're so overwhelmed by the fairy you can sense, right? And the other thing that you notice is this is rune magic.
Yeah, it's fairy. It's fine. But there is some of those, some of us lot. Humans, what we are, isn't it? Because we're humans. Yeah, it's fairy. It's rune magic though, so it's not a glamour. It's runey. We're talking pretty standard spell, really.
I'm kind of impressed with what I'm hearing. I'm just blown away at the same time. Josh Bray's just kind of like, what have these two kind of just deduced in the last few minutes? But feels wary that we've got Marcus looking at us as well, kind of aware that we want to take what we've got and get out of there with, like, with maybe with that cloth as well. So I kind of like meander over to Marcus to just kind of keep him distracted whilst giving Sidley the look to like swipe it without him looking.
All right, boss.
Just kind of give him the old nudge.
Just to put this in regarding the church, the Puritan Church believed that God created the world of fairy to demonstrate the folly of life without faith, destiny, and salvation. They do recognise it, but they see it as kind of somewhat sort of debauched.
It's hell, basically.
not fans of it. Don't speak of it perfectly kindly. Okay, yeah. So there's this kind of scent. It's kind of kind of strong. But
I'm pilfering this cloth, and then we're going to get a hound.
all right, Sidley. How does Sidley feel about this? Because Sidley likes dogs. Likes his dad.
Oh no! Can't stand his father. Father's a prick. He doesn't want to be part of the family business.
And your dad is the kennel master.
Yeah.
Are his dogs loyal to him? They don't really care for you.
They're loyal to Sidley because Sidley takes them out. It's just Sidley doesn't like them. Doesn't like anything with 4 legs.
Have you ever been like attacked by his dogs? Or
No, they take to me fine. It's just I do not want to do this as a job.
Okay.
I don't particularly like the dogs because they've got 4 legs.
all right, so yeah, what do you guys do?
Am I right just to pilfer it? Am I going to roll for it? Or
I mean, are you just reaching out to take it?
yeah, but slyly. I don't want because if Josper is keeping Malcolm
All right,
busy.
yeah, then that's going to be a roll.
Ooh, it's passed.
I haven't told
Double
you what you're going to roll
double
yet.
6, it's passed.
This is scandalous.
Just natural 20, this bugger.
Oh wow!
You rolled the wrong dice.
Yeah, what have you rolled?
Oh shit! Well, so Josper's giving me the look as to go get it, and I'm like, right, our boss. With his hands in his pockets, he's sort of kicking it out, going, "Oh, come on, this is all a load of crap. Let the guards know." Oh, come on, let's just go home, lad.
Not only do you not have the cloth anymore, you have no idea where you put it, Oberon. No fucking clue.
Just kick
Like
some
it-
dirt. Right? Come on, boys.
Like
let's
it
just go
literally
back to
vanished, and
the-
everyone's just walking up the dishway, and you're like, oh. You don't even know if you even had it.
There was no cloth.
There was no cloth.
It was so smooth. I went up to start a kind of charade with Marcus, but he did it so quickly. I kind of go, so this thing about my cheese rock, and then literally at that point I get the whistle to leave. I'm like, is nothing to do with today. See you later. It was that smooth.
Bye, everyone. Bye. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
All right, you've visited the ditchway. Where are you going next? I'm going to start a thread. Okay, a thread is sort of like a plot line of situations that happen. I don't need to tell you unless it's pertinent to you. In this case, it is, and that is the day is running short. So morning is now over. All right, where are you heading to next? I can give you again another list of the areas. We've got the church, the market square, the vicarage, the graveyard, the Hornstoats Rest, which is the inn, Harper's Hall, the Bladesmith, Man of Gold, Apothecary, the Nunklestones, and then it's just roads basically, and of course bogways.
I'm gonna say to Josbury, I've got the cloth in my secret pocket. We could get one of my dad's dogs to smell the scent and find where it's from.
Well, what? And I'm like, and one place we should take that hound is straight to the apothecary and see if anything's been swiped from there. That's sense all day long.
Yep.
Josh Priest like looking at the bloody magic man and the friar, thinking, should we not split up and see if maybe we need to cover more space, maybe we need to cover more places because the day's running out, and I don't want to be hung. That didn't look pretty. What happened to old Crumwaller there? I don't want to do the encore.
Why are you going to get hung?
They think that I did it. They think that because I was wearing his get up and everything.
Oh, Matt, you didn't tell me that.
No, I didn't. Well, I didn't. I don't want to say it out loud because it makes it real.
Well, there's one particular dog I've got in mind.
Okay.
Because so that's Nub. He's the 3-legged bloodhound. He's the eldest of the pack. But he's also the one my dad won't miss.
Okay.
Because he's got 3 legs. He's not very fast, but he's bloody. His nose is amazing.
I love Nub. He's always kind of coming in my leg in a sexual manner. We get on really well.
Oh, that's Nub.
I sometimes hang out around the kennels. You've got nothing better to do with.
Yeah.
keep you company. I was going to say maybe turn into our friar and saying, look, we're never going to get into the church or near Father Doby today because, frankly, he thinks we're fuckwits. But ultimately, you've got a great chance of getting in there. You flash your little religious badge, you get in there, maybe find out if there's any sort of religious ongoings with what's just happened there with old Crumwall. What do you think?
Nothing back there made me think there was religious ongoings with it. It was fairy magic. We discussed it.
I've heard there's a few fairies in the church.
Silly just gives you an elbow.
There's fairies in the church.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're all giggling amongst themselves. Oberyn has no idea.
Oh, DM isn't giggling.
I'd like to meet them. I think that'd be really really good if I could meet them.
Unless you've got a better idea, Guillem, I just want to kind of spread our resources because I really don't want to swing tonight. I'm fond of my vocal cords. I'm told I've got a delightful voice.
When he's had a few, he starts singing.
Oh, yeah.
Are you part of that invisible choir that he was talking about earlier?
Well, if you come see us, you'll find out. But that's the thing. Never perform live because you can't see us.
As you're walking towards Harper's Hall, great big tall lime white manor, and then beside of which is kind of like a side wing, and that's the dwelling of the Burk Master and his family. And you see the sort of stable doors sort of open up, and you see the Burk Master sort of on his horse with his entourage, and they start kind of galloping sort of out. As soon as they lock eyes with Josbury, they immediately start to approach. He says, "You, this body, Grumvaller. Did you find out anything?" And as he's kind of talking, he's getting off his horse and approaching you.
My arse falls out of my arse. I want that noted. I'm very scared.
He's a tall, plump man of around 50 years. He's got densely curled auburn hair on his head and on his face and on his chest. He's got voluptuous purple velvet. Well, answer my question, boy.
Yep. Answering now.
You're not?
It's
now.
Definitely.
Now then.
There's definite foul play, as we know.
I am your Burkmaster, and I hereby declare that you relinquish any evidence you may have found immediately.
There's been a fuss, sir. There's been a bit of a fuss.
Who the hell are you? I don't know you.
We haven't got any evidence. We've been and we've seen the body, and I've taken a look at him. That's about as far as we've got. We haven't got anything.
What are you doing, Josbury? Frequenting with these outsiders?
Oh.
They're hired. They're hired specialists. They're specialists.
Search these villains. The two men slump off their horse while you're having this mini tirade, and they kind of walk towards you, and they start to give you each the pat down. What do you do?
I flat out refuse. As a man of the church, as a man of God, the one true God that the people around here believe in, I'm just like, I will not stand for your accusations. And if we had anything, of course I would give it to you, because I'm here trying to help solve a crime. I don't even come from around here, and I'm doing more to help than you are. So I suggest you take a step
share
back.
What information you know. I am the mayor of this town. All right, roll negotiate.
This is about midday.
Yes.
Right. So I have been on an all-night bender. I have not eaten. I'm going to have pre-beer farts, and I'm going to let one go. I'm going to stink when that guard comes near me. He's not finding his stuff.
Roll plus Constitution.
Constipation.
Oberon, what are you doing? You haven't got any evidence, I believe.
I'm going to play to my voice. So as the man comes to start patting me down, Oberon just says, "Right, okay, now this bit I understand," and he just starts feeling him up back.
Oh.
Brilliant.
Oh. I don't think he understands what's going on.
The man turns purple and he slaps you across the cheek. Do you have armor?
I think I do, actually. I think I'm wearing chainmail.
Really?
Why am I subject number one?
I am wearing chainmail, yes.
All right, you take a HP of damage, but I assume your armor kind of soaks that up. so you're not incapacitated from it. You're lucky you rolled a 1. All right, what is Jospray doing as they approach him to pat down?
And arms wide open, like we're talking like as far apart as like jumping jack, kind of like legs apart. Very happy to oblige. Does not want to rile the Burk Master any further than already feel ill feeling towards him.
As he's sort of patting you down, and not the Burk Master, but he's kind of lackey. He kind of furrows his brow, and he's like, "You're a squire, ain't you? What have you?" And then, just as he sort of realizes that you've got a knight's friggin' armor on, quite possibly Crumfallers, he gets a waft of horrendous cheese, and he's like, "What have you done in it, you dirty bastard?" And kind of backs away. It's like, first him stinking. Well, we'll see what Sidley Crump does, because it might be the overwhelming smell of shite.
Roll 2 6s.
Oh. Okay, so what did you want to achieve? This happened.
So you know, like Robin Hood, where it's just, oh my god, you stink of shit.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
just-
All right. Yeah, that happens. You
sort of
just
thing.
part. So the cloth remains upon you. All right, Friar, you're having your little speech. Does it work?
Yeah, I rolled a bang 10. I have a 0 on my intelligence
Shit,
plus
mate.
modifier.
All the dice are broken. Are you all lying to me? Seriously.
No, 6 of the 4.
It'll come. It'll get you. It'll get you.
Yeah,
You'll have a
well,
day and
that's
you
it.
won't be-
We're wasting them all, mate. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
wasted them all now on nothing.
The first time we fight something, it's going to be
All dead.
Absolutely
Well,
battered.
Baldric looks very, very, very cross that he wasn't able to find anything, and they trot away. Oh, all right. And then you make it to the cannery. Your dad, he works there. He will be there. What are you going to do, Sidney? Are you going to approach your dad, or are you going to try and do this on the sly?
No, I'll approach my dad because he's gonna see me anyway, and he's gonna be pissed off that I've been drinking all night.
Yeah, he's there, kind of roughing up the dogs, and kind of doing sort of the tasks that you do at a cannery. Sort of cleaning out shit and sharpening sort of tools, fixing like dog collars, things like that. And he looks up, sees you, and he just looks down at what he's doing, and he says, "Fuck off."
Right there.
Sidley, you better piss off now. I don't know what's happened, but you've pissed off. Fucking may have something fierce.
I ain't pissed him off.
I think you best get home.
I just need to borrow a nub.
No.
Yeah.
Why?
Just want to take him for a walk. Right.
You want to take a dog for a walk. This is a dog owned by the mayor. Not even the mayor, by Lord Malbleet himself. He comes down and he wants a three-legged dog, and I haven't got one. You do realise the consequences.
Just
If I find out you're Billy Bollocking me, son, I'll tam
Dad,
your backside.
not in front of me, mates, man. Don't be shady.
He looks at your mates and he's like, who the fuck? I don't even want to know.
Look, I've got a friar with
Okay.
me. I've got a father.
The answer's now. Get out of my sight.
I say, I intervene and step in and go, "Sir, as a squire of the realm,
Squires don't tend to wear plate armor.
well, squire in training, transition. I'm transitioning."
Are you stupendously stupid walking around in that? Do you know who's just been found dead?
No, but he was my hero, so I really
For all I
wanted
know,
to.
you silly sod, you're wearing his fucking armor.
No, that would be ridiculous. I just wanted to say that I'd stake my reputation on Sidley telling the truth. That's simply all I wanted to say. As a squire of the realm, I think that counts for something.
I can't lie straight in bed. You're brave. Fucking hell.
All right, I'll do it. On one condition.
Oh, what?
You give me that stupid fucking pebble you're messing around with. And
Don't you dare touch his pebble.
Just turn to Barbara and go, "That's my real dad. Don't."
You dare touch my best friend's pebble.
and next week, start apprenticing here in the kennelry.
Oh,
And you
Dad,
do at
don't
least a
wanna-
weekend's full work. That means missing out on market day.
Can I do 2 weeks' work and not give you the pebble? I need that.
I don't know what that second part meant about work and marketing and things, but the pebble stays with my best friend.
He snorts loudly and whacks a big gollop of spit into his hand. And he holds it out. He's like, 2 weeks. If you ain't here for those 2 weeks, I'm going to tan your backside.
All right.
You shake his
So I can have
hand,
none?
and there's a giant lumpy squelch filling your palms. And then he just goes, he just goes, nub! And it's 3-legged sort of bloodhound. He kind of hobbles up. And you flinch, Sidley, as it approaches you. And your dad just looks so unbelievably disappointed as you flinch at a 3-legged dog.
Well, is this why I trust him? Because he's got 3 legs, not 4.
Oh, God.
This is why I
Oh,
like dogs.
Jesus.
This is why the dog had 3 legs.
Yeah. It's in my character
very
sheet. I
good.
don't like 4-legged things. So.
Very good.
All right. Nub, yeah. What do you do? What do we
Hello,
have?
Nub, you nasty little shit. Come
Little
on, let's
rough.
go for a walk.
Can indeed pet the dog in this game.
Yeah, get the dog and get out of sight of Dad.
Yeah, okay. You do so. You
Just for me own laughs, I'll just look at Albron and be like, I've got 2 dads. Point at the friar and backwards towards where my real dad is.
How old is Sidley?
I think we said he was about 15, 16.
Oh, so he's even younger than Josbury. Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah,
It's like a
looks
young
up to
adult
Josbury.
novel.
No, he looks up to Josbury as like a
Okay.
folk hero.
Oh, okay. Okay, right.
Yeah, he's this fucking knight. He's a squire in training. He's going to be a knight. I'm just a kennel
He's
master's
the most
son.
evil piece of shit in Dolmenwood.
As Josbury,
He
as
says
we
something,
leave,
he's like, yes, boss.
as Josbury leaves, because he's got a bit of like respect for family, practices and everything. What with his family as well being well known, he just leaves and awkwardly just goes, thank you very much, sir. May I say you've got a fantastic rationing of feed and dog water on the go here. You really run a tight ship."
He looks at you and just starts snorting in, like
Oh, dirty bastard.
looking you dead in the eye. And he's like, I'm going to fire this forwards. Do you want to be in its warpath?
I don't even clock that look. I just turn around and go, I'll be seeing. So leaves, doesn't even pick up
You
on
feel
that,
something
that
spat in your
hatred.
shoe, which is strange because it's not raining.
And you're indoors.
Yeah.
You're indoors.
Just as we're leaving, Luke, I'm
Yes.
going to cast my glamour for the day, which is Silver
beautiful.
Tongue.
Okay.
And
you want to use it this? Okay.
yeah.
Wow.
You
And
describe that spell as Silver Tongue because we're going to get you to lick the bishop.
Oh, I assume he is going to.
by using ancient modes of the immortal tongue of fairy, the caster is able to communicate with any being, including mundane animals. I'm going to speak dog and sidle up beside Sidley when Nub is and start talking in this weird voice. And he's like, "Hello, I am Oberon Whispers and Shadows. It is very nice to meet you, Nub the dog. How are you? You seem to have lost a leg. Does it impair you?"
Yes, I was born with 3. Oberon, Whispers and Shadows. Nice to meet you.
We're adults.
I hear that you're going to be helping us find something for Sidley. He is my best friend now. We both have rocks.
I do good sniffing, and then I follow the sniff, and then they give me chocolate. But they shouldn't.
No, I've heard in fairy circles it is terribly carcinogenic.
It makes me do wee out my bum.
Fuck off.
It's a sad sight when a dog does wee out of his bum.
It's brown wee out my bum, and it hurts my bum.
When I speak to Sidley after this, I will tell him to make sure that he gives you no chocolate. No chocolate at all.
Okay, I'll do good sniffs. Give bacon.
You do good sniffs, my friend, and the honor will be with you. You'll have this day.
Now, that's what happened in the point of view of Oberon, but in the point of view of Guillaume, Jospray, and Sidley, you see the most bewilderingly strange and disturbing thing
just
before you.
That's what you said happened, like, in his view. Like, what we see is exactly what we have just seen. The most bewildering, strange.
But you made out no words. They just barked at each other. I assume Oberon's glamour only works for Oberon.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
But it lasts the entire day.
And Sidley,
I'd have loved to have turned to Sidley and go, "You born with it? You said he lost that in a house fire." Like you told him.
Oh, fucking hell.
All right.
Oh,
So
I need to lie down after that shit. Fucking hell.
So you let Nub have a good old quaff of this cloth, and he toddles off towards initially towards the east, and then breaks off and kind of starts to go off the road and heads in sort of northerly sort of direction, and then heads into town, sort of sidling through like streets and stalls and stands, and then leads out into the big market sort of square. It is market day, so there's people, food, drink, livestock, stalls hawking local produce, freshly brewed cider, vast array of cheeses, horses and hounds of all kinds. But Nub is on the scent, and nothing will make him break. So he's leading you through all of this, and as you break out at the edge of this market, he starts sniffling the ground and then barks and sort of toddles towards his quarry. The tall building looms central over the whole of Lancashire, the church, St. Pastory. Next time in Dolmenwood. Oh, Jospray, is it? You know, it has been quite some time since you were last in here, I believe.
He's the one. Victor pulled down my blast.
There you go then. Might as well just plant the evidence here.
It's not even planting, it's solving.
Excuse me, man with a metal skin. You've been balls deep in the cloven hoof night after night. You're the last person I'm going to stand here and take any form of insult about fairies being dirty.
I'm sorry, but could you repeat that? The mesh appeared to make it sound like you said you killed Crumvaller.